Welcome to r/choosingbeggers, where people can't get the best but demand it anyways. Our first post is by Flippy is King 18. Guy makes a complaint because I wouldn't give him my beer. Me, my fiance, my older brother, his wife, and my coworker/friend all went out to hang out the other night. Normally on days where neither of us is going to be working the next day, we like to drink. A lot. Well, this was my turn to be the designated driver, so I couldn't get plastered, which sucks, but regardless, it was fitting to be a long night. We went out bowling, and we normally order a special, which is 2 hours of playing, a pizza, and a pitcher of beer. Everything was going fine for at least an hour, and we barely made it through half the pitcher since we were having fun bowling and all. This one dude, who looked like he was old enough to be my dad, came up and asked if we could share some of our beer because they charge way too much for a large drink here. The price complaint is pretty fair though. A large drink costs about $4.50. I'm like, okay, because I felt like being nice, and I saw the cup in his hand. And this dude just takes the whole pitcher and goes to his table. My brother and I immediately go over and take it back, just as the dude threw his ball down the lane. When he saw us, he started running after us, shouting, "Give that back! You said I could have it!" We all shot him down when he came to shout at us, and he bugged off to the desk. Then he came back with management, saying we just came and picked the pitcher off his table. All I have to do is show the receipt, and the guy was instantly accused of stealing it himself. But then he went on a tirade about the prices of the drink and how it's unfair to be charging so much for sizes I can get at McDonald's for an hour. Needless to say, that was the end of his night, and he was escorted out the door. Edit. To clarify, when he mentioned Mickey D's, I think he was talking about their cup sizes. They don't serve beer to my knowledge at McDonald's here. I don't think they serve beer there either. And anyway, if they serve beer, McDonald's would make a lot more money. But, I don't. Still, anyways, yeah, I mean, seriously. This story has so many problems with it. Well, that's some expensive beer. Actually, I don't even know how much beer costs. Oh well. Our next post is by Primus Drago. I mixed my meds and alcohol. Can I get a refund? Okay, first of all, don't ever do that. That is stupid as hell. So, there I am, trying to pick my fiancé up from work. Hotel with kitchen and bar. I get asked to help the barkeeper assist a patron to their room. Only the next floor down. I enter the bar and find a very drunk and very big guy drooling on the couch. Any attempt to help him to his feet resulted in him falling around like a child, yelling no repeatedly. His wife is sober and apologizing constantly and asking if we should call for an ambulance, which she would rather avoid, and asking us not to call the police. We assured her we can get him downstairs at the elevator is nearby. The barkeeper keeps a swivel chair, and we manage to wrestle him onto the chair, where he flops himself out and takes off his shoes, smacking his head against the ground. We get him back in the chair, roll him onto the elevator. As we get him downstairs, he flops back out of the chair and starts screaming. At this point, the barkeeper is starting to lose his patience, asking him if he wants us to call the cops, as now he's disturbing the other guests. We get him just inside where we can close the door, and his wife apologizes once more, thanking us for the help. The barkeeper thanks me, and I leave with my fiancé. The next week, I see the bartender, and he tells me the lady called to lodge a complaint about her stay and asked for a refund. She said that her husband had a bad reaction with his prescriptions meds that he took right before drinking. Okay, and he spent the entire night throwing up. Therefore, she deserves her money back. She was denied. Some people. Okay, first of all, please don't ever mix alcohol and meds. That's very stupid. Seriously, don't ever do that, okay? Just don't. It's just stupid as heck. Our next post is by Monkey Mayhem 1968. A terrible babysitting job offer of mine. I'm a teen, and this was about the same time Nick last year. So the mother lives on the other side of town, and my city is a fairly large and takes about 45 minutes to get from one side where I live to her house. She saw me with a kid from another family that I babysit for, and she asked me if I'd be interested in watching her son while she grocery shops weekly. She seemed nice at first, so I agreed to give her my contact info if she's still in need of babysitting at that time. She then proceeded to text me later that day with the worst punctuation and grammar possible. That was the first red flag. Fast forward to 7 o'clock at night when I was doing my homework. She said that she needs someone to take her kid immediately because she just met, and I quote, young smoking hot Tinder date. And proceeded to tell me that the kids will hurt her chances of getting laid with a ha 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 lol, you understand, right? Oh, no. I'm sorry, lady, what? I'm 14. I literally just met you, and you're telling me you need me to take your kids immediately at 7 o'clock at night? It's on extremely short notice because you're waiting for some guy that's 20 years younger than you? That's another red flag, bro. That's like a factory of red flags. So being the nice person I am, I agreed to watch the kids at an arcade near the house while the mom is off with this guy. My mom had to drive me almost a 90-minute return trip because this woman didn't offer to. I get to the arcade and the kids are sitting outside. Mom was nowhere to be seen. Red flag. So I take this kid inside, introduce myself, and started playing games. His mom has given him about $50 that ran out after an hour. Mom wasn't back by then, so I let him use my spare 30 I keep on me after asking his mom if that was okay. We were having fun. He was actually pretty nice despite his mother. But at about 10, I started getting nervous. The place closes at 10:30. I texted a mother and she said to take him home because she ended up going to the guy's house. Bro, at this point, she gave me the address, so I took him home and he got in bed. The mom came stumbling in at 3 in the morning, so I told her that he's in bed. I charged about $10 an hour, especially because it was really late notice. That brings her total to about 90 plus the 30 extra that she agreed to. Here's the choosing beggar part. She then told me that this was a trial run to see if I was a good babysitter and told me she wouldn't be paying more than $4 an hour. What the heck? In the future, and that she wouldn't be paying 90 this time because she doesn't have the right denominations. She said it would be an honor to work for her since she paid for the arcade and that I should be grateful. I kindly reminded her that I had used $30 on my own because she didn't pick her kids up on time. She gave me a 20, dismissed me, and I had to call my mom at 3:30 to come pick up. She was not happy. I haven't heard from her since. See, this is why you always have a contract, everyone. For everyone saying, call CPS, I just looked her up on Facebook. She and the boy moved away and she has addiction problems with both heroin and alcohol for the past year. But thankfully, due to someone's reports of abuse against the mother, the child has been placed in another family's home as a foster and they're hoping to adopt him. I hope the best for the boy and his new family. Glad nothing else came out of that one night. See, this is why, this is like the reason I either get prepaid or just get a contract, or both actually. Just do both. It's worth it. And plus, yeah, I mean, I could babysit, but I'm not doing it for free. That's definitely a no-go for me, and especially with this many red flags. Oh, gee, you're a saint. Our next post is by Haskin. It's not enough that I climbed into a dumpster to help your worthless family. I currently have a 5-foot roll-off dumpster in my driveway while I'm doing a major clean/renovations. Today I chucked some of my kids' old bikes in the dumpster and put a couple that weren't in terrible shape down by the curb. A guy comes by my door a little later and asks if he can take the bikes by the dumpster. Sure, that's why they're there. Then things take a turn. I see there are some bikes in the dumpster too. Do you mind if I take those? Sure, they might be kinda tough to take out. The walls are pretty high. You might need to climb in to get them out, but I don't know if you want to do that. It's about 90 degrees and it's pretty nasty in there. He's clearly angling to get help to get them out, but I'm not going to offer it and it's not part of the social contract. So, the choosing beggar makes a half-hearted attempt to pull the bikes out from the side, then starts to take off his shoes and climb in a dumpster. I know for a fact that there's broken glass hidden in the swamp water festering at the bottom, so I immediately stop him and throw on some boots to jump in myself. As I'm holding the bikes over the edge, I hear it coming. So it's gonna be a lot of work for me to get these out of here. I have to take the bikes off the back of my car and take off the bike rack. Then put these guys in the trunk and do the whole bike rack again. Well, that's a lot. Good luck with it. He was crestfallen. He stood at the end of my driveway for a moment, then headed towards his car. The kicker, I'm walking in my front door, and I hear his wife get out and yell, "He ain't even gonna offer to help." I turn around to start to say something, then his teenage son gets out of the car and glares at me too. His seemingly perfectly capable, strapping young son, or at least capable enough to load a few kids' bikes in the back of an SUV. I just laughed and went inside. I anticipate the comments, although I know many would have let him walk into the dumpster, goulash, barefoot. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not going to let someone with no common sense kill themselves with an infection they got on my property. Jeez. What the heck? I'm so confused on so many levels. Jeez. Oh my god.